Okay. So basically what we're going to discuss today is we talked about Losh, right? About kneading. The question is there Losh after Losh? Which means, if someone already kneaded, already made a mixture, a thick mixture, or made a dough, do we say that there's still a problem of Losh afterwards? Okay? That's what we're discussing. So that's we want to bring the Tower, so we're going to discuss this, and then we'll bring a Bir Halacha, which we actually had a glimpse on before. Okay, Virali the delay of pacing. Okay, let's start with that. The Yerushalmi, in the Yerushalmi, Parakla Gadol, it says like this: Halosh. Losh means obviously kneading it, right? Makatif. Makatif means to braid. I'm sorry. Makatif means to glaze. The glaze. With you put egg yolk and you on over the dough.
With the brush, you take it.
With the brush, you take it and you.
Okay.
Well, eidech is the one is braiding it. Kulun mishum losh. These are all an issue because of Losh. That's what the Yerushalmi says. So says the Yerushalmi like this: Taman Amar. Over there is referring to you're not supposed to make the mincha, the carbon mincha, the flour offering. You're not supposed to make it chametz. So it says that Taman Amar chayev al yishasa. Over there it says that if you make it chametz, you make the flour offering chametz, and you're chayiv achatos al yishasa for kneading it, v'al richasa for braiding it, v'al richasa means to make it nice, and v'al afiyasa is in baking it. V'hacha atam r'hachin. But over here, when it comes to Shabbos, you're only going to be chayiv. If you do all three of them, you're only going to be chayiv one. Which means, Pirush explains, the Gabi Mincha, by a flour offering, Masah Chametz, if you made it Chametz, Chayiv HaKolmaisa B'fnei you Chayiv for every single action which you did. The Gabi Shabbos, however, by Shabbos, in the sun, Kulum, B'helam Echad, and Chayiv Alachad. By Shabbos, if you did all of them, which means you didn't realize that you're doing a Melacha on Shabbos, you didn't know that this is a Melacha, this is something you're not supposed to do on Shabbos. So then,
he did Losh Mekatef Orech.
Right. He did all three, and he didn't know that it's a problem on Shabbos. But he did it, and only after he finished all three, then he realized that he did it. So then he's chayiv. Then in chayiv alachs, only chayiv one. Only chayiv one carbon. Alatamon yishlei lachlik v'chayiv. So the Gemara says that there's a difference. So the Gemara says that when it comes to making a flour offering chametz,
You're talking about Pesach. Somebody made
no, a flour offering you're not allowed to make in the base of the mixture. You're not allowed to make it chametz.
all year round.
Right, all year round.
And if you did, you over on one
What
lav.
is open?
You over on the lav one lav. But if you did three actions, which means you kneaded it, then you braided or you fixed it up, and then you glazed it.
So it's three.
You chayiv three.
So what's it in Shabbos that you chayiv one?
Yeah.
And by Mincha you chayiv three.
Each one,
Right.
every time you do it.
So he says, so that's his question. So he says, Taman over there, which means when it comes to making a carbon mincha, a flour offering, chametz, yishlei lachlik, chayiv al kalachs. Let's see the explanation, the brackets. Baking was included, it says you shouldn't make it chametz. Baking is included in that problem. But it says you shouldn't bake it. Why did it tell me that you shouldn't bake it? I already know that you shouldn't make it. Baking is included in making.
When the Torah said the word lo nasa chametz, what do you mean the word lo nasa chametz? All these
means all the three things, everything. So why did it tell me specifically another time for baking? Yatzim in a klal. Why did it come out from the klal? The rule is anything which is in the klal was included in the issa in the klal, and then it comes and tells us a specific thing you shouldn't do. The lamed, thank you. Lamed shechayiv alev b'fnei atzma.
And each one.
Yeah. That each one you're chayiv on. Leil lamed al atzmi yatsa, lamed al klakol yatsa. It's coming to tell us you're chayiv on all three. If you do, if you didn't realize that it's a malach, if you need it, you bake it and you.
So now you go back to Shabbos, you go back to...
Halama klakol yatsa l'chayiv. This is not so important, this shtickle over here, so we don't have to get stuck on it. Yatsa l'chayiv kol ma'aseh v'nei atzmi. Hachim yim gemara didan. Okay, so basically the point of it here is not so much negir. This is a difference between flour. Let's just decide. I'm just bringing the whole Yerushalmi in its entirety. The point is that Yerushalmi starts off saying that on Shabbos, there's kneading is not the only issue. Losh is not the only actual kneading the dough with the water is not the actual only issue. He also says makatif. Makatif means to glaze it with the brush, and also va'edech to braid it and to fix it up nicely. That's all problem of lush. So what we want to take out from this Yerushalmi is that we want to discuss if there's lisha achar lisha. We want to see, it seems like in the Yerushalmi that we're saying, although you already needed it, you already made it into dough.
But it's a different avera that you're doing.
Let's say it's a different aveda.
In Losh, it's a different avera.
But in Losh.
Losh is bitters.
It's
Boys a club.
But so.
But you're saying a big chiddush, because I mean, if you're doing a deraisa l'chayr, you shouldn't do it until you shouldn't be over until you did the makkah patish. So how can you say there's 3 stages?
So what is lush?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right.
Lush is kneading.
So
what's the main malacha? What's the?
Why over on 3 lavim if you needed it and now you break you glaze it, smear it. Why should you be over on lush for that?
Yeah. Besides the fact, also in the Gemara, maybe it's 2 separate things. There's 2 asurim, one to Losh, and maybe a fiyah isn't the chelik halash. Maybe there's an isser in the korban.
Isn't.
Not a fiyah. Maybe there's an isser. It's a double isser. You're not allowed to bake the korban that way, and you're also not allowed to mix the korban like that. It says you're not allowed to do a fiyah, and you're not allowed to do
You're
that.
talking about the korban mincha.
Yeah, the korban mincha. How do we know what is the connection between that?
Okay, let's leave that. I'm saying that's the mincha. Let's not get into the mincha so much.
Yeah.
Let's discuss the.
What's the Yerushalmi?
Let's do the lush case. So there's three things in the lush case. We have the kneading, we have the braiding it, or making it nice, and then glazing it, right?
Yeah.
These are all problems of lush. The Yerushalmi clearly says all 3, they're not separate isurim. We don't say there's another isur called glazing, or another isur called braiding. It's all part of lush. At the same time, we're saying, which means if I would do any one of these 3 without the other ones, I would be chayiv.
Each one of them.
Each one by itself. Yeah, I would be chayiv for that one.
But if you did them all together, you're still chayiv only one thing?
But if you did all 3, which means not knowing, by mistake, you didn't know that these are melacha, it's called a helam, you didn't realize that these are melacha, you did all 3, so then afterwards you realize, I did melacha. Let's say you only chayiv only one. In that case, but...
So you want to take also the Yerushalmi that there is no lush after lush?
Oh, we see in Yerushalmi there is lush after lush, because you see that after you need it, and you still are chayiv,
But each one
individually. If you knew about it, let's say in this case Yerushalmi was talking about if you didn't know, but if you did know about it, you were chayiv for each one.
Now when you say lush after lush, in other words, what if you repeated any of these 3 things and did it twice?
No, if you did after kneading it, then you went and braided
That's
it.
not lush after lush.
Okay.
That's not lush after lush. It's
It's the melacha lush after lush, not the
actual lush after lush.
Right.
So what is that? So what?
But from here, the place can learn out from here concerning lush after lush. What would be a case of lush after lush? So lush after lush, which means
you make the test by yourself. You make the test by
Dough is needed already, and another guy
I'm
comes
saying-
out and he needs it more.
I want to
that's-
bring.
Right?
No, how can that be?
What's
It was already done.
What's
It's like-
bishul after bishul, right? It was cooked already, and you cooked it more, right? So here, lush after lush, I'd say it was needed already, right? They already put it in the oven. You come, you needed some more.
So how do you
The
prove- how
shaila
can you-
is,
how
do you
can you
have
prove
an
it?
aveira or not?
How could
I'm
you
just
prove?
throwing it.
Fine,
What?
but I was like, how could you prove then from these other 2 things? Prove it from doing one of the 2 things again.
Right here, you mean the braiding or the
Over here, he's doing something else.
the pashtos by bishul. The reason why there's bishul after bishul is because you're accomplishing something in the second
You're
bishul.
improving it.
You're improving it. Which means if it's something which is, let's say, cooled down. So by davar yavish it has to be totally cold. So now you're warming it up again. Right? Ain bishlach for bishul. I'm saying by davar yavish, but I'm saying but by davar lach you have bishlach for bishul. So but that's dafka if it's
the accomplishing
You
something.
did the test last year. They were here. You did the test. You bought the flour. You put the water inside, right? You made that's called Losh.
yeah.
Then now you take more water and put inside again.
Right,
Losh.
right. Okay, so what are examples of Losh after Losh? So basically, it's according to logic, once you already needed something, you're not accomplishing anything again. So there should not be any Losh after Losh, which means if you have a mix,
And you mix it more.
on Shabbos, could you mix some more?
That's it. You
So
mix
the Pashas according to so you're not accomplishing anything more.
Right.
You're just mixing it around. I'm saying it's already mixed everything. You're mixing.
You're
Whatever.
not doing a malachi.
Right.
Make it more doughy. Make it more doughy.
Right.
And you mix it more. That's it.
So that's what Pashas. But the question is, let's say we said that there's an opinion who says that lush is just the actual pouring the water into the flour. That's already problem with lush. Like we said by the baby cereal. Pouring water into the baby cereal.
Even if I didn't mix it.
Even I didn't mix it.
It's a lush.
If it's thick.
It's one day.
Right. That's that we're machmer like with
It's not pouring. You said. That's
Hatchila we're machmer like that. Which means when you're pouring into the baby cereal, and if it's a thick mixture that it's not, you can't pour it. It's not thick. So you're already chayv on lush, right? So you're not allowed to do that on Shabbos. So
you do the opposite. We said last time.
Oh, so we explained last time that what you do, right? So according to let's first question. According to this opinion, Rebbe's that opinion.
Right.
If afterwards he goes and needs it, let's say on before Shabbos he poured in the water before Shabbos.
Now you're making a new menu point.
Now he's needing it.
That he will be a lush.
He's needing it. Is it a problem with lush according to him? Is it a problem with lush? We're going to see that it is a problem. Right. Another case. Let's say you have matzah meal, right? Matzah meal. What's matzah meal? Matzah meal was already kneaded,
right?
And now
it was already made.
It was made into baked. It was kneaded and baked. Then you grinded it again,
right?
And now it becomes into pieces, flour-like. And now you want to put it together. You want to put wine and honey, different things to make it into a nice paste, whatever you make out of it. So could you do it again?
Like you lush again.
You lush again, and that's actually gibble again, right?
That's because you're improving it.
You're up. So the vart is you want to say it's improving it. If you're improving it, so then maybe we'll say it's a vart, and that's
like a bishul after bishul.
Right, exactly. That's what we wanted to talk about. Another example would be, we said. For example, we said that baby cereal we said last time, right? You could have it in any mixture, anything.
Oh, this was a good example.
We said that what you do is how do you make? You have to pour in enough water that it should be able to be poured. It shouldn't be just like a stuck mix, but it should be able to be poured from one cup. If it's mamish like drinkable, then it's not a problem with lush at all. But we're saying if it's able to be like it's sort of thick, but it's able to still be poured. So that's called bli l'raka. That's the first step you make. But so we said you have to do a few changes to make sure to be able to do it. You can't if during the week you usually pour in the baby cereal first. You put in the water first. You switch around whatever you first put into the cake. That's the first. Make a shina in the pouring in the water. Then afterwards you make another shina when you're mixing it. You have to make a shini. You could do the upside down, we use a knife or upside down spoon, or
instead of the right side, you're making the left.
Or you do it. Back, left, not so clear. It doesn't say it's a shini, but the question is what's a shini? Another shini is also shesi vediv, is moving it crisscross, diagonal, crisscross X, like X, and then you can shake it in the bottle or pour it up or something.
Put it down, pick it up.
Right, so that's if you want to make baby cereal. I see a lot of people don't make baby cereal because they're worried about lush, but if you want to make it, and it has the same thing, anything which might be a problem with lush, this is the way you could do it. So you have to make a bli l'raka, you have to make a shini what goes in first, and afterwards you turn over when you mix it, you also have to make a shini. After you made this all, right? Now it's mixed. Could you continue mixing? So
after you made it all.
After you made it, you finished making it all. Could you continue mixing?
If it's usher?
Do I have to do a shini?
Will you over?
No, if from now on, after it's ready fully made, do I have to still make a shini? Continue making?
Of course, because again we said you're improving it. Why should it be different than matzah?
This has to do also with, hold on a second, this has to do with your improving it or not.
If you leave it, I don't know for how long, but if you leave it in a refrigerator or something, the top gets dried out. So, you know, it's different from the rest of it. I don't know how long it would be, an hour, 3 hours, 5 hours.
What is that?
So,
What are you talking about?
So, when you stop mixing something and
We're going to try, saying it improves it, you're saying.
it improves it. Suppose you leave it for a couple of hours. I mean, suppose you make an Erev Shabbos, you put it in, but then the top gets dry. The top becomes slightly different than the rest of it.
So you're saying it wasn't a mixture? So what are you saying?
It was fully mixed, but you're leaving it.
Leave it out.
He's saying if you leave it alone,
if you leave it alone, the top gets dried out.
Right, but you're still not, nothing became separated. You can't separate the powder and the water now. It just became a hard thing.
It just became a hard thing.
So that's why
is that different? I mean, is that lush?
That's not a problem.
That's not a problem.
You're not mixing the powder and the water anymore. It's already fully mixed.
It doesn't become two separate things.
You're just making it softer. No problem.
You're just making it softer. So that's not lush.
Right. So that's what passes why someone would still mix it. Like, why are you mixing it if it's already mixed? Well, let's say it became hard or something, right?
It became hard in the refrigerator.
So you want to mix it, so that's
out,
not mixing. You're not mixing the powder and the water together anymore. It's already mixed.
One second. So you're saying that wouldn't be awesome?
It wouldn't be awesome because you're not mixing the powder and the water
Hold on.
together.
If you have a knot, right, a sailor's knot, that's a good knot. Now you want to make it extra hard, extra special. Would you be over? You made another knot. You know, the sailor say, "Oh, you know what? I'm worried. I'm worried that it might open up, so I'm going to make it a double sailor's knot."
So what's the question? It's Kesher Shakar?
It's another. Are you over on making Kesher on Shabbat or not?
I don't know.
I don't know. You are.
It's probably you are, but
So why should this be any different? If Losh improves the whole amount that you're, doing Eloi, so
right. But the question is, what are you improving? Over here, you're just mixing that it should be softer. That's not the.
It's not the ultimate half.
What's your Losh is to make it thicker.
Losh is to make the mixture.
Make the mixture. The mixture's already made. Now the mixture came a little hard, so you're mixing it. It's not mixing the powder
It
together.
became hard. It didn't become to the substance that you wanted. What's the word I'm looking for? It didn't come to the constitution that you wanted.
Okay, but. Right. Okay, but what do you mean? What do you mean that the Constitution that it didn't
for the baby to be satisfied, you want to make it, thinner.
So you're saying that it's not fully mixed. You're saying it never really mixed the water.
It is, but everyone has their different. Everyone has their stroke.
Some baby like thicker.
Some baby, it depends. Some babies younger, so they need it thinner. So if you're going to keep missing it on your madrega, it's not lush. It's more lush.
Well, the thing is that it has to be bli l'rakra. So it has to be bli l'rakra. It has to be
thin.
It has to be thin, which means it has to be able to be poured. If it's able to drink it, there's no problem with lush at all. Like a baby bottle, you put in powder, you mix it, it's just becoming. It's the opposite of lush. It's because it's becoming into juice. The point of lush is that it's becoming into a thick dough, into isa. So, but if it's thick. So if it's thick like a dough, so that's a problem in a Torah. But if we make it a bli l'rakra, we make it loose, that it's able to be poured.
Oh, so then close man that you dilute its thickness.
It has to be diluted in order to make it in the first place. It has to be diluted.
But you're saying no, someone wants it for a young baby to be even thinner. So that's doing it by osmosis.
That's the best way to do it.
Not osmosis, reverse lush.
Right, but at the same time, if it's still going to be not drinkable, you still have to do shinuyim. You have to do it the opposite. If usually you put in the powder first, you have to put in the water first. You have to switch around what during the week you do. And also, when you mix it, you have to do a shinui. You have to do upside down fork, Mesha says. Or to do it crisscross or shaken thing, not to do it the regular, normal way. Fine.
So what you mix it with?
Sorry?
What you mix it with? A finger?
Oh, you could do it with a finger. I don't know, it's not practical. I'm saying most people don't like getting dirty. You know?
I just brought it down.
Yeah. Okay. We're by the wide lines. Right next to the Agah. You see Agah middle of there. The Rambam and the Smag, they didn't bring this Yishalmi at all. They needed, there's a Tali b'machleike shekasavdom. this is dependent on the machlekes, which we wrote in the beginning of the chibur of the Igui Tal. He wrote the melachish of a pass. We have a lot of melachis of pass, right? Oif, Losh, all different things. The melachish of pass l'nashi v'aramam kulo misamonim shebe mishkan yalfinu. Rabbi, Rabbi Nachanani yalfinu minchas chavitim uluim etam. Machlek is all the melachis which we say that which you learn, which have to do with making bread. And the machlek is where do we learn out from in the Mishkan? Everything has to be learned in the Mishkan, right? 39 melachis were in the Mishkan. So actually, you discussed it last time. We discussed it the first year. We actually had this question over here. Where do we learn out Melachas Losh from? So Pashmi said, what do you mean? From the Lechem Chavitim, Lechem Panim, from which are bread, and the Pashtus. It's actually Machlekas. So Rabbi Nachanani says Taka. That's where we learn out from. We learn out from the Minchas Chavitim, what the Kohen Gadol had to bring every day, and the flour offering with the Tamid. But actually, the Rashi and the Rambam learn out from making the dyes, the samanim, in the Mishkan, which over there they would have to do. They had to mix it around in order to make the dye.
And that makes more sense, doesn't it? Because the Malachas Machshavas, it's done. Once you do the dye, then you have something that's already done for you on Shabbos. Mashenke by Losh, it's really
done.
like a chana. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What they do by the Basimamori? What they did?
They mixed flour and dyes and water. And they made
How do you make dyes? You mix.
different stuff.
It's like
the Rebbe's and
plants. I don't know what they do.
Plants and a little bit of
Hot
oil.
water. What is it?
All kinds of the whole.
So that's a dash.
It takes out the. They would mix it up, and certain things they would crush up. They crush up certain things, and then they would mix it.
That's a dash.
Losh.
No, that says.
So the question Mamis is, I'm saying it's pashtos. He has a whole. It's not so pashtos. If you say lush is, I'm saying we said there's two opinions what lush is in Rabbi and Beis Yehuda. Rabbi says it's pouring the actual water. Beis Yehuda says it's actually mixing. So if you say you learn out from the dyes, so it also has to do with this.
It's mixing.
You're pouring the water. You're pouring the water together with the.
You have to mix it, you know, that for somebody.
And then there's also mixing. So it's two things. Yeah. So now he wants to explain that really this is the Yishalmi. He wants to say that this is the machlekes of the Yishalmi. This is the difference between Yishalmi and the Bavli, where we learn out Losh from, and that's the reason for. We'll see. Well, that's the Yishalmi. According to the Yishalmi, Gam Rashi v'Rambam made in the Karbanis Elfinam. Achtzvile da Karcha Gmar Didani Nisever Kein Akta Samchinin Yelfinam Ayin Shal. The Yishalmi holds that Rashi and the Rambam, although they say we learn it out from the dyes, nevertheless, that's.
It does make a difference if you know it's in the Korbanos.
They want to say it like this. They want to say Rashi and the Rambam. This that they say you learn it out from the dyes is only according to our Gemara. But the Yishalmi, the Bavli. But the Yishalmi learns it out from where? From Karbanis.
What's the difference if I know that?
Oh, what's the difference? What's the difference? Because the difference is bread. If bread has braiding, has glazing, has all these different things.
And we say Shabbos that there's 3 different melachas.
Right. The Bavli doesn't say this. All these steps doesn't say that these are part of the Melachas Losh. It just says kneading or putting in the water, but it doesn't discuss further. So the Gutal wants to say that the reason is like this, because the Yishalmi learns it out from the bread which was in the Mishnah. Over there, bread has all these different malachas. Therefore, you're going to chayiv for all these malachas.
And the Rambam, the Rashi?
Oh, the Rambam and Rashi themselves are going to say that Yishalmi, even though they say that you learn it out from dye, that they say is according to the Bavli. But in Yishalmi, they're going to have to agree that you learn.
Rashi cannot say in the Bavli like this in Yishalmi like that.
Sure. Because he's saying that according to the Bavli, they learn it out from dyes.
Right.
And that's why the Bavli doesn't mention anything about afterwards, about glazing it and braiding it and everything. Because you don't have that by dyes.
And according to the Yishalmi?
According to the Yishalmi learns it out. They also agree that it learns it out from the karbanis, from the flour offerings and the base of mikdash, and that's why the Yishalmi says that you're not chayiv for kneading it, you're also chayiv for braiding it, for all the things.
Why? Still why?
Okay, the question is why, but at least you can see that
Right.
they had it in the Mishkan.
Right.
They had it. Mashengi, you learn from some money, you don't have it at all. You don't got braiding, you don't got the whole thing over there. Fine, the chain cuts of the wide lines after the Haggah. So the chain cuts of Rashi, Rashi writes this clearly. Gabi Losh, Perek Meteimnim. He writes the Ramaskal, Himzad of Katzro. This is what he says. The Loshu Nami Samanim Mitzvaya. They also needed the dyes in order to make color, make dyes. Achle Yishalmi Yalfina Melisha Menachas. But the Yishalmi learns it out from the Menachas. For sure, the Yishalmi says just like in every bread had braiding it and glazing it. So also over here, they're all Melacha. Actually, Melacha, Achas, and Losh, they're all part of the idea of Lisha. Basically, it's not it's where you're like asking, you're saying it's not the final thing, but that's the main thing. The main thing is you make it into dough. The glazing and the braiding and making it nice, that's like the extras. That's like they suffer.
Right.
That's why we're looking at the main Melacha is the Losh. The main Melacha is the Losh, which means someone can make a bread without that. You can make it as a dough, put it together, put it in the oven. It's not as nice. It's not arichos. You make it nice. You make it. You make it proper.
Nobody can
You
do
glaze
it
it.
in the oven. You can't do that.
You could. He means
make
without a
make
reefer and katif.
No, rise. I'm saying.
You can do it.
You ever see somebody take a piece of dough?
No, you
Bread, that's
form
what bread
it
is, isn't it?
into a
Oh, you
loaf.
mean without taking out
That's
tzur?
that's you or something.
But you could. Theoretically, you
No,
could.
after Losh, he's saying that of course after Losh, people do. They make a little thing, a big thing.
Right, so this is second step away.
Right, but it's not. But I'm saying he's asking that it's not the final thing. It's not the main. So maybe it's the main thing. Maybe it's not the final thing, but it's not. The main thing is the Losh, and these are all additions to the main thing.
Right, so why would you be chayav for them?
Oh, so why would we be chayiv? That's what we're going to talk about right now, huh?
By the main thing by money is the dyeing itself, is the color itself, right? So this is also adding in. In order to have the color, you also have to do some grinding or a little mixing over there. That's no different than the fear.
Okay, so let's fine. Okay, we'll see soon about dyeing. But at least by the bread, we understand the idea, right? By dyeing, there's a few melachas. There's a dyeing of, we learn at Tzeveya, right? It doesn't mamish have to be, it has to be a chashiv of melacha. It doesn't have to be always the final melacha. It doesn't always have to be. But this,
Maybe we're learning the grinding by the dough also, by the wheat we're saying teichin, right? There's also teichin. You could have a bunch of melachas where they're interchangeable.
sure.
Both by that and that. The question is like...
It means it's a chashiv of melacha. That's what it means.
Right.
It doesn't have to be, the point is, it's a chashiv of zach. The Eini Daimel is Zayda or the Beta Menak. We don't compare it to Zayda, Beta, Menakit. Beta, the winnowing, Beta is separating, or Menakit is sifting. The Chashvina Matlas. These are three different malachas. The Shani Hasam, why do we need to split into three different malachas? The Shani Hasam, the Zayda Beruach, when you do winnowing, you do it with three different ways. It's not all done with your hand. Zayda winnowing is with you throw it up in the ear after the kernels are like your hand. You want to separate the kernels from the shat.
The wind separates.
Yeah, the wind. You throw it up and the wind blows it away. So the wind does that. The next thing later is you do it with your hand. You take out the ones which didn't go flying because they were thicker or whatever. So you take it out with your hand. And then and then you sift it with using a sifter.
All those are three ovens.
Oh, why are three ovens? Because each one is done with the different way, not with your hand. All three with your hands. On the other hand, over here, all these three you do with your hands. Like it's different cheshbeinis, so why there's different malachas. It's a whole. Kamesha bi'arna bir malacha zeda v'sat l'shmai l'das harabina chanano v'ayishami mashenkin hakol kol biyad. Over here, everything you're doing your hand. You're doing the braiding with your hand. They would take their hand. They would smear it. Today we use a brush, but it's like your hands. And then they would, and also they would braid it. They would make it nice.
So this is the reason to make it where we make.
Right. So that's why it is make. It's not three malachas. It's only one malacha.
Oh.
I'm saying by zeta, beta, merakit, each one's done with a different whole device, wind, with your hand, or with the sifter.
Yes,
so
all
three
three
different
of
blocks.
these-
They become like chshivos, like they get each one a chshivos for themselves. Hashenkin over here, they're all done with your hand, so therefore it doesn't get its own chshivos. They're all like part of Losh.
So why you chayav for each thing? Does it explain the way you chayav for each thing?
Because it's included in Losh. It's part of Losh thing.
So you get three. It's already the right. So
If you do it
on one
b'mezid,
told, on one of.
if you do it b'mezid, so then you can be chayav. If you did it by mistake and you didn't realize until after all three, you only be chayav one. But they're all part of Losh. They don't get the not enough chshivos that should become their own thing.
It doesn't explain it though. It's just a nafka of it. So what? How does it? That explain why you should be chayav for all three things. They're like
No, he's
ancillary.
not coming to explain why.
If you smear on it at the end, it's not stopping you from enjoying the challah. It doesn't look as nice. But it's still you've done Losh, you've accomplished Losh.
Right, so
So if someone else came and smeared the challah, he would be chayav for Losh too.
yeah.
That doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
it's chayav.
Why? Hard to understand.
Safe, it was. I don't know. I'm saying it was a Melacha.
It's like saying two people, someone carried from Rosh Hashanah Shul Yochid, and now it's from Rosh Hashanah, let's say Rosh Yochid to Rosh Hashanah. Someone else comes and takes it and goes, moves it. Why should he be chayiv? The other guy did the Melacha, you didn't do the Melacha, you just moved it a little more, you're not chayiv. Over here also, you did the Iker was the kneading or even the braiding, it's hard to so much understand. But let's say the braiding is already like part and parcel of making the yechelis for it to bake. The shmearing, what is it?
I guess it has some sort of chshivos, but not enough chshivos.
It's like saying someone wrote a letter, right? He wrote a beautiful letter, and then someone else came and he wrote on top of those letters to make it look too pretty.
That's another whole discussion. That's
not
that's
ksiva.
actually a big shaila.
Yes, ksiva.
The taste is a whole.
There isn't, right?
It's not so much because I don't remember what time, and I remember in Shemem we went to the whole taste, the whole shot, even so I from get. Somebody wrote a get shalei l'shma. After someone retraced over and wrote l'shma, it will help. I think you have to accomplish something, and it's off topic, but it just reminded me of Shmak Yavert from Chinuch, I think. He says that you have to accomplish something. He says with the second time, I think, if I remember correctly. So like, let's say on Shabbos, somebody there was a get, yeah. Somebody wrote a get on Shabbos. So if the data said you're not allowed to do something, so it's like then it doesn't help. It's not gonna help if you do it. If you wrote it on Shabbos,
Not gonna help.
so it shouldn't help.
It will not be a get.
So it shouldn't be a get. So if it's not a get,
But we say
so then he didn't do anything.
You don't know what he did it amazing.
He never did any problem.
Show you what
Amazing. So if nothing came, if it's not going to help, so it means he didn't do Melacha. Because Melacha is only if that's retracing it. So he never did any. He never did
He
it.
never traced anything because there was nothing to trace. Basically.
No, let's say he wrote it. He wanted to
Right.
wrote the Shema. So since Taita says it's not going to help anything, so he's not chayiv. So he didn't do anything wrong.
What's not gonna help anything?
It's not
He's
going
still
to.
wrote
Nothing
who
yet.
else he is. What do you mean?
Since
Who cares
Taita
about
said that
anything?
if you're not allowed to do it, so it's not going to help.
Isn't
Make it
that
Lishma. It's not going to help it, right?
What's not gonna make it?
So if you retrace the letters,
it's not gonna make
it Lishma because since Taita said you're not allowed to write it on Shabbos, so
Right.
therefore.
So it was nothing. Therefore, it's not considered anything.
Not like you did it. So you didn't do anything.
Why is with the second guy?
No.
Oh, the first guy, why
He's not the second guy. We're talking about the guy who retraced it.
The second guy, why
The guy who retraced it. So
He didn't do anything.
He didn't do anything. So if he didn't do anything, so what's the problem? He's allowed to do it on Shabbos. So if he did it on
He's
Shabbos,
allowed to do. The first guy is saying he's allowed to do it on Shabbos.
then what do you mean?
Oh, if he's not doing anything, so let him do it on Shabbos.
Let him do it. He's allowed to do it on Shabbos. What did he do wrong? So it should help. But if it does help, then it's a problem.
No, but that's not again. But if the guy would retrace it on Shabbos, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be considered a get, but he'd still be right. You would be able to read it. So he's still writing real Lysias.
No, but if he didn't accomplish anything, so it's not
Didn't
chayiv.
accomplish anything else. get, but he accomplished something else, a readable document.
No, it was readable beforehand anyhow. I'd say it was readable already beforehand.
What about Kasiva?
It's
We
like-
wrote on
it's-
Shabbos.
it's like a
That's
catch-22.
That's what I'm saying. You're saying you didn't write anything.
No, you didn't accomplish anything. You're just retracing it. So you didn't go. No, we're off topic.
I'm sorry, it's not the same.
None of the, no, just he reminded me.
Because here you make the dough, and here you take and schmear. It's like second melacha.
Just reminded me. It's a circle. It's a catch-22.
But it's very similar to the get.
It's a similar.
Think about it.
I still don't understand why this glazing is
What
any
does the
type
schmear
of
do?
bracha whatsoever.
What is
Part
the
of this
difference?
part.
What is
What are you
it
doing by glazing, by putting in the thing? What is it doing at all?
But yeah, that's not
Making it, why does someone glaze a collar?
Yeah.
You want to make it?
It looks a little nicer.
For some reason, they decided that's a Melacha.
Yeah, but why is it part of
Losh.
Lush glazing? What
Because
is the accomplish at Lush? You made it a little prettier. Maybe you made it even.
So they're saying you should be over on Soveya.
Yeah, maybe it should be another. You say.
No, it's not Tzvi and Eichel.
So if you say it's another malacha, I could hear it.
You
So
can take
what
great cookies
what
on
does that have to do with Lush? Lush is an your mom's doing something.
So you say
You're creating something.
I understand, fine. Okay.
Okay, not everyone's asking something.
Okay, let's get to the point.
Those three things before you get to need it. So regular,
Now they see you're not allowed to.
Yontif, you can't do that from we're not from Nafis, it's only from a certain point, right?
But I'm saying,
I'm trying to think out a reason.
Okay, that's-
This is part of least
Let's stick to hold on.
shop.
Okay, fine. Let's get to the point. It's getting late over here. There's different klalim. There's different klalim in the way we learn out. Different rules how they learn out each melacha. His point. That's not really his point over here. That's his point. Is not really to. The Gemara said that this is the difference, right? That if since all three are you're doing with your hand, so therefore all three of these things are all included in Losh. That's what the Gemara says. The explanation is another shiloh. Why the Gemara decided that these are malachas, another shiloh. But the point is that it was part of the malachas. It was part of the where we learn out Losh. Where we learn out Losh, it has all these three things. Right. But if you learn it out from some manim. If you're learning that from Dai, then it's not possible at all to start talking about the state that these things are all included, right? So he wants to say that so according to the Yishalmi, so he wants to learn out from here that according to Yishalmi will come out that there is Losh Achar Losh. That's what he wants to say. Now, when do we say Losh Achar Losh? When don't we say Losh Achar Losh? So the Bir Halacha, he learns out. Let's just go to the Bir Halacha to just try to get to the Halacha. In the other side.
Well, you stop in the middle of it, right in the Moshe Rosham. You just want to leave it like this.
Yeah, because we're already getting into London and everything, and it's not enough time. And it's gonna take a while to go through it. I want to get to the point.
You don't want to couple three and one shot.
Yeah. Aim Megablim. Yeah, on the right side, it's like 15 lines from the top. The star is the beginning of the line. Aim Megablim.
Aleph there?
Yeah, no, Kochav.
Kochav. On the other side,
Mishnah Berurah.
the Bir Halacha on the right side.
Okay.
Yes, it's Aim Megablim. Aim Megablim. I am Mashakasu of Mishnah Berurah.
Yeah, I got it.
I am Mashakasu Mishnah Berurah. The Das of Bala Truma Lifsik Rebbe. What does Rebbe say? The Bala Truma says that we pass him like Rebbe. What does Rebbe say? What is a malach of Losh? Take him Shanasan B'Mayim Chayiv. Right when you put in water, you're already Chayiv. The Zui Das Yeshemin Isker Pai. Sif Tazayin. This is the Yeshemin which we're machmer like. You're not even put in the liquid of some Shechadaz. But that you should know. The literally butter. It's clear to me. Says the Chavis Chaim. That filo das Bala Truma Hazed and Sinas Mayin Nikar Gib. Even according to Bala Truma, passing like Rebbe that putting in the water is already a problem in eating. But not some Mayin Erev Shabbos. Let's say Erev Shabbos you already put in the water. Nevertheless, he for sure will hold. And if on Shabbos you went and needed it, so then you'll be chayiv. And we don't say it's just like Lisha Chalisha, which Papashos, according to logic, is not a problem. From this Yishalmi, Parakar Gadol, it says, Halosh, Va'irech, V'makativ, Chayiv, and Shalosh, all these things, Chayiv, and Losh. Behini Melachas Aricha Yachalisha. Braiding after already you needed it. Almost the afshak finally Lasha Yisa. So that even though it was already needed, nevertheless still a problem of needing. Very important word. Because through the braiding, the lisha becomes beautiful. It beautifies. So that's the connection to lisha. You see, this is the connection to lisha because you're making nicer the lisha. The lisha itself, you're making it nicer.
So who's the lisha?
The kneading it is making it nicer. So that's this point. At any time, so this we can learn out from this bit of luck. Any time you're making it better and nicer, the kneading, it is a problem of lush. Which means if it wasn't
maybe
fully,
that's what the shmiri does.
yeah. So
You can make the dough itself. It's not even the mice of mixing. Making the dough better itself is part of the
so anytime if it wasn't fully mixed, you want, and you're gonna finishing it off. Let's say there's some parts which weren't done properly. You want it to be better. That is a problem with lisha, right? And now his point over here is, for sure in this case where we're talking about, according to Rabbi, that even though you put the water in already from Erev Shabbos, you already did one Melacha of Losh, which according to Rabbi, you're already chayiv for lisha. Just putting the water in after Svidel Zel Kippur, even though he holds that's already considered mixing it a little bit, because the water pouring in is already mixes a little bit. Afterwards you need it, you're making it better. Although Rabbi says when you pour in the water, so you're already chayiv because it mixes a little bit, but since afterwards you're kneading it, you're making the kneading better. Therefore you're going to be chayiv also according to him. The Rosh says like this. The Gemara in Beya says if you have an oven and you want to keep it like cemented shut, the door, they would have a door and they would like put a piece over it, a board, whatever it is, and they would take ashes and mix it with water and make it like a sort of cement.
Paste.
Paste them to cement it on, to cement it closed. So there's no ear should go out, no. So he says you're allowed to do it. The Gemara says you're allowed to do it. Okay? The Maidish Nasan by Mayim Erev Yomtiv. So it says, it just says that it's talking about you put the water in the ash already Erev Yomtiv. When the Sinas is Akibul, Ukrainas Gam Erev Yomtiv is already mixed already Erev Yomtiv. So the say no lame lachem what the Losh Achakakakitno to Achalataner. So he means to say that even that since it was already poured the water on before Shabbos, so on Shabbos you're allowed to knead it together and to smear it on the around the door opening of the tanner. So l'chura, it's a question on what he just said. The Rosh clearly says that there's no problem of kneading it after it was already the water was put in. No problem with Isha afterwards once you put the water. Feel Losh Achakak. So he says it's not a question. The Rabbi is talking about flour, ashes don't really mix that well. So therefore, you're not really mixing it. There's no real problem really. Since you're not really mixing it, therefore it's not a problem. This way you're mixing, it was already really mixed already when you poured in the water, that much mixing. On the other hand, in our case, when you're mixing flour with water, even though you already poured in the water before, you still be chayiv. After that, there shouldn't be a problem with the shalom. Basically, the answer is yes, there is lisha chalisha, and no, there's no lisha chalisha. Depends. Lisha chalish, if it's already finished and it's already finished product, no problem. Mix as much as you want. But if it wasn't totally finished and you're coming to add more to it to make it to finish off the mixing, to make it mix very well, yes, it is a problem according to Mishnah Berurah, according to Melacha. So, and also the Taz, one of the second also the Taz, which brings, he says about matzah meal. He says matzah meal is definitely a problem because you're definitely making it better, right? Therefore, you have to make it lilarakli, you have to make it like sort of liquidy a little bit, and change around the order I usually do, and do a shinny with the bottom of the spoon, or whatever, that whole thing. That's the lilarakli, yeah.
says the story is like you have step 1, step 2, step 3. Let's say I decided to schmear before I did the first step 1. I can't do it. Let's say I decided to bride before I do the full step.
Can't do
I
it.
do it.
Can't do it.
So I must do the first
Right.
melacha, water and this. Second melacha,
Yeah.
white. Third melacha, this.
It's kind of interesting. I don't know if everyone holds, but I saw on one sefer that he says it's they said about Play-Doh. That Play-Doh is might be a problem of according to the Yerushalmi, might be a problem of making it braiding it nice, but he's not clearing it because it could be it's you don't want it actually to eat.
It's already done. It's already done.
No, but still
Later
you're
it's already done.
right.
The only thing is you mishana the tzura. By mixing it more,
So
you
that's
mishana
like
the
braiding.
tzura.
So it's
It's
like
like
braiding.
braiding.
But on the other hand, he said maybe it's not like braiding because braiding is you actually use it. There's a purpose over here. You want to bake it and you want to eat it. So over
Yeah, you
here,
don't wanna do
it's for
nothing.
play. It's for game. You
You
don't.
just want to build and destroy.
It's not really a passion block. So maybe so we also it's not so passion. So
It's a bonus. Play-Doh, it's a bonus. You make it different. It's big.
it's not so passion. So it's not. It's a shiloh. It's archian.
I said in the book, it's
Sorry.
Braiding hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, say braiding. Inside Losh, you're saying?
Bread. Pizza just came from a bread.
Bread in the dough. You're not really mixing. Yeah, but they don't really mix. They always remain separate. I don't know.
Braiding has nothing to do with that or making a knot. It's not really a knot.
No, it's nothing to do with that. That's shikation or matter. Yeah, that's something else. Yeah.
Hezekiah.
Yeah.